I'm Ellen Franzenburg. I'm the Director of Awards and Lectures at the World Food Prize Foundation, and I am really happy to be talking with you today about World Food Prize nominations. I'm going to go first through a little presentation about the World Food Prize and about our nominations process. And like I said, go ahead and raise your hand or unmute yourself if you have questions at any point during the period, or you can hold your questions until the end and we'll have a Q&A session at the end, of course. So let's just go ahead and get started. So our founder, the founder of the World Food Prize Foundation, was Dr. Norman Borlaug, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1970 for his work on the Green Revolution. So he actually went to the Nobel Committee and asked them if they would make an agricultural prize for the Nobel. The Nobel at the time, of course, had just those few categories: the Peace Prize, the medicine, physics, chemistry, but no agriculture prize. And he was the first and only agricultural scientist to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. And they told him that the Alfred Nobel's will is the will, and they can't add another prize because it wasn't specified in the will. And so Dr. Borlaug decided to create his own prize, international worldwide prize that would recognize achievement in food and agriculture. And so the World Food Prize was born. So the World Food Prize is a $500,000 award given to specific, exceptionally significant individual achievement that advances human development with a demonstrable increase in the quantity, quality, availability of our access to food. So we raised the amount of the award just last year. We announced that we raised the amount of the award from $250,000 to $500,000. So we're really excited to be increasing the honor that we bring to our World Food Prize laureates. So the laureate awards ceremony occurs every October. It's held in the Iowa State Capitol building in Des Moines, Iowa, which is where I am right now. Not the Capitol building, but I'm in Des Moines. And the ceremony draws in over 800 people from more than 75 countries. It's truly an international event. And we are really glad to show Iowa to people and honor our laureates in this way. We have laureates from all over the world. We are now at 53 laureates over the course of awarding the prize. And the first prize was awarded in 1987 to Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. And we have 21 countries represented in our laureates, as well as the United Nations. So for now, I'm going to go through kind of what we ask for the criteria for nominees for the World Food Prize, and also our required documentation for nominations. So for nominees, we're looking for an individual that has an achievement that increases the quality, quantity, or availability of food at any point in the food system. So we're looking from field to processing to distribution to economics, nutrition, anything that we can think of, research. So anything that has to do with improving the world's food supply at any point in the system. So we get a very wide variety of nominees, which is wonderful. We are looking for global, regional, or national impact. So we're looking for a large scale on the impact that's already been done. So we're looking for individuals who have already been working in the field, who have already created some impact on the ground, and it's not really a grant for future work. So we're looking for current impact, what's happening now. And we are looking for one individual person who is living and in good health who would be able to come to Des Moines and receive the award. And as far as nominations of multiple individuals go, we do allow nominations of multiple individuals under exceptional circumstances. So if if you would like to nominate more than one individual, it would be a case of those individuals working together on on an on a project or impact that they could not have achieved alone, essentially. If you have any questions about nominating multiples, definitely come to me first and ask me. Or if you're thinking about nominating multiple people, do come to me and ask me and talk to me about it, and I can give you more guidance on that. So any organization can nominate an individual for the World Food Prize. So we're talking academic or research institutions like universities, public or private organizations, government units, in corporate entities, any organization can nominate someone for the World Food Prize. And the nomination then has to be endorsed by a senior official of the nominating organization. So if a university is nominating someone for the World Food Prize, then that might come from the president or the chancellor of that university. We've also had the College of Agriculture or Life Sciences nominate someone for the World Food Prize. In that case, the letter of endorsement comes from the dean of the college or the chancellor of the college. So we're looking for somebody who's high up. If it comes from a corporation, that might be the CEO or the chair of the board that endorses the nomination. So we're looking for somebody who's high up within that organization who would endorse the accuracy of the nomination and put the weight of the organization behind that nomination. So we're looking for, this is some of the information that we are looking for. Some basic information is we're looking for the contact information of the nominator, in this case, both the nominating organization and also the senior official of the nominating organization who's endorsing the nomination. We're also wanting the nominee's contact and biographical information. So for example, we ask for a CV or resume and the photo of the nominee. And we also want a 150-word synopsis of the nominee's achievement. So the elevator pitch, so to speak, of what the nominee has done and why they should be awarded the World Food Prize. Right, and then for the next piece of documentation we ask for is the statement of achievement. This is 2 pages long, and this should talk about what the nominee has done, what steps they took to do what they did. This should include numbers. So it's difficult to give an example because we have so many different fields that are represented that this can look different depending on what field the nominee has worked in. So maybe this is how many people they've worked with, or maybe funds that they've raised, or things like that. It can be a lot of different things. But we definitely want to make the statement of achievement about the nominee themselves. So sometimes the nominee is the person who founded an organization or who was the principal lead on a project or a program. But we don't give awards to organizations or programs or projects. we're giving the award to an individual. So we want to know what steps did the nominee take to make this organization or the project or program a success. So we want to learn about the nominee themselves. So what actions did they take? Separately from the statement of achievement, we want a statement of impact. This is also 2 pages, and this would talk about the impact specifically of the nominee's achievement. So this might be the area, the regions of the world or the countries of the world that were impacted, the number of people, perhaps if there was an increase in yield or an increase in access to food, anything like that. Again, this is a case to include numbers in your argument. So some of the questions to consider, like I was saying, how was food quality, quantity, or availability impacted? How was poverty or hunger reduced? How was nutrition enhanced? Who was impacted? What world regions were impacted? How much change occurred? That sort of thing. So this is really focusing on impact. We at the World Food Prize, we're really looking for impactful nominees to consider for the World Food Prize. If the impact isn't there, they're not quite as competitive for the prize itself. There's a lot of good research that is going on in the world, but without the on-the-ground impact that research can lead to, it's not as strong of a nomination. So we do want to see, the impact on the ground. We also ask for some letters from other individuals to support the nomination. So we've already mentioned that we ask for an endorsement letter from the senior official of the nominating organization. We also want to have 2 seconding letters from people outside of the nominating organization. Ideally, these 2 seconding letters would come from people who are familiar with the individual who's being nominated and their work, and who can talk about that individual and, say more about their impact and the achievement that they've made. So we would want letters to be written just like a regular letter. So on letterhead, as much as letterhead can be available, signed with that person's signature and dated, and also to include the writer's position and organization that they are with. And of course, we hope that they would include additional information about the nominee's work and the personal or professional connection that the writer has to the nominee, so that we can see what the connection there is. And just it's an opportunity to give more information about the individual. So we also give the option to include additional documents in the nomination. So some things that could be included are articles, news articles, or journal articles about the nominee's achievement or impact, publications that were by or about the nominee, additional seconding letters if you have more than 2, and links to videos of presentations or news stories that are by or about the nominee. So those are just some examples of additional items that could be included. We have an online platform, so as long as they can be transferred to us digitally, we can accept additional documents that way. Again, this is an optional thing. We don't require this, but if you feel that some of these items could boost the nomination, then please do include them. So submitting the nomination is online. We have an online submission portal called Reviewer. And you can see down at the bottom of the screen the link that will take you to the website where you can click the button that says submit a nomination, and it will take you straight to Reviewer to submit that nomination. Reviewer will have you create a password and a username so that you can log in and out and continue to update your nomination, or if you are uploading your nomination, you have to stop for some reason, you can save the nomination and log out. And then when you come back in, you will be able to see everything there still. You can save your progress and keep going later when you have more time. So that's handy. The person who creates the password and uploads the documents does not have to be that senior official of the nominating organization. This could be another person who was involved in putting together the nomination. So the person who actually submits the nomination does not have to be that senior official. It can be someone else. Each of the documents are to be uploaded separately. So separate letters, separate statements of achievement and statement of impact, separate CV. So you don't need to combine them all into one file in order to upload them. There will be fields to upload them separately. And you should include all of the documents. Make sure you have everything there before you click the submit button. Once you click the submit button, it comes to me, and you would need to then go through me in order to make any changes to the nomination. So make sure that you have all of your documents uploaded before clicking submit, and also make sure that you do click submit, because if you just click save and log out, then the nomination will not ping me to show me that it's ready, and it might be missed. So make sure you click submit when you are ready. So let's go through the kind of process for nominations for this year really quickly here. So on May 1st is the deadline to submit nominations. I can make extensions available. So if you find that you're running up against that May 1st deadline and you're not sure whether you'll be able to finish the nomination in time, get in contact with me and we can work something out for an extension. And nominations, once they are submitted, are eligible for 3 years after they've been submitted. And no changes need to be made to the nomination during that time in order for them to remain eligible for those 3 years. After those 3 years, if you want the nominee to continue to be eligible, you would need to submit updated documentation, new documents, new letters, everything that are all updated with new information to make sure that they remain eligible for another 3 years. So then later this year, the selection committee will choose the recipient of the 2025 World Food Prize. And our Council of Advisors of the World Food Prize Foundation then ratifies the selection of the laureate. And around February 2025, we will notify the recipient of the nomination of the World Food Prize that they have been selected. At that time, we just notify the recipient and not necessarily the organization that nominated them, but they do get notified later on whether your nominee has been selected. And then in May 2025, the announcement of the laureate occurs. We typically have the laureate announcement at the U.S. Department of State in Washington, D.C. And so that's always a great way to welcome a new recipient of the World Food Prize. And then finally, in October of 2025, we award the World Food Prize to the laureate in the ceremony at the Iowa State Capitol, which you can see a picture of there. So that is kind of the process that we have for this next year for nominations. So I hope that this information was helpful to you. I hope that you are all planning on submitting a nomination for someone. I want to throw up my contact information on the screen there so that you can have that information available to you. I can also, if people are interested, send out the slide deck that I used here. And there will be a recording that we put up online after the end of the webinars today. So you'll be able to revisit this recording in case you want to do that. Or if you have any questions, of course, please go ahead and contact me directly. My contact information is right there on the screen. So if you have any questions, you can please feel free to go ahead and ask me those questions now. Yeah, so let me know. Sarah, I think you have.
Hi. That was brilliant. Thank you so much. Very clear and helpful. So I have a nominee, but I'm a social enterprise. I mean, I'm an individual. So there are two organizations I'm thinking would be able to make submit the app, well, to be the central organization. Are you available to have a conversation if I want to decide which would be a better organization, a better choice, or does it really not matter?
Absolutely. I can help walk you through that process, but either organization should work with the endorsement of the senior official from either one of those organizations. And it may be that those organizations want to submit would like to jointly endorse the nomination. We have had that happen before where two or more organizations really wanted to go in together and do that and submit the endorsement letter together. And then we've also had a case where one of the organizations, was the one who submitted the endorsement letter, and then they had the other organization submit a seconding letter. So yes, definitely, I would reach out to both of those organizations for those reasons.
Fantastic. And then I could be the coordinating person since I'm the
Yeah.
one who's starting the process. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks for that question. If anyone else has a question, please feel free to jump in. If there aren't any more questions, again, I'm Ellen Franzenburg, and you can contact me anytime. If you have questions in the future, just let me know. So thank you all for coming today, and I hope to see nominations from all of you. Have a great day, rest of your day, wherever you are in the world. Oh, I have another question. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you for coming. Excellent. All right. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.